It's the big DJ with the big sound. We're talking DJ Me, stamped in the street.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the DJ Me Show on S&DS Radio. It feels so weird now. It just feels so weird. Like, I don't know. We here though.
Well, this week has been weird because I know even when I went back to work, we were at work, it just felt weird because it felt like we was like involuntarily confined to our homes because of Dorian. It was like Dorian was playing the Cha Cha Slide song and it got stuck on reverse. Like it just got
kept
stuck.
spinning in one spot like for 36 hours.
A lot of hours.
So
and,
so we definitely want to send our condolences and and pay our respects to those that lost their lives in Bahamas. Freeport, Abaco, Grand Bahama. You feel me? Just everybody over there in Nassau. They got it kind of bad too. So.
And do what you can. There's a lot of opportunities to send and provide relief, but also do your research. Unfortunately, in the midst of people really in need of assistance, there are those that still try to buck the system. So make sure ask questions. Who's getting this funding? Who's getting this relief? Where is it going? When is it going? Ask those questions, because if somebody fumbles to even answer that means they don't really know. I know if you 211 or the United Way, Broward, Palm Beach, and Miami, because I know we partner with them at my job. They're collecting, and even the Broward Education Foundation, and they said 100% of funds donated will go to Hurricane Dorian Relief and Recovery Fund. And just also, please, I know everybody don't read, because we all know that, you send an email, people still don't read it. Read what is being
you put
asked.
The caption, people still don't read.
The whole caption say everything. Be like, okay, where is it? Okay, never mind. But read what's being asked, what's being required, because you may have that stuff in your house that you don't need no more, but you got to understand what the need is at the moment, and that's what they need to fulfill. So read and understand what they're asking for. Keep in mind, a lot of people's homes were gone, so cots, blankets, things to stay warm, places to lay their head, things of that nature, clothing, So please, people, please read for once.
But today we got a special guest in the building, man. Got my boy Rarri in the building.
Hi, Rarri.
What's going on with you, man?
How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
He's always just so meek and just humble and modest every time. Now, we're just going to get right into it. So, first and foremost, I kind of want to get into kind of what is your background. Like, growing up, did you go to school for anything promo or marketing? I'm just curious.
Okay, so how I got into what I do is I went to North Miami Senior High. I sold candy to buy my shoes and clothes. So I sold candy, chips,
Universal
honey buns,
hustle, bro.
hot sausages, Pop-Tarts, pickled eggs.
You was my best friend.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, so out of the 4 years, I sold for 3 years. They treated me like I sold drugs. The administrators would pop up to my classrooms, try to just get me randomly. But I did that for 3 years. I became friends with a DJ. His name is DJ Bop. We met in the 10th grade, and I would go with him to DJ the local parties, and I would see kids my age at the time throwing parties. And I remember this girl named Rebecca, and I remember Rebecca would have these parties, and she'd rent out this venue in Miramar, and I just remember seeing a huge line outside, and I would think, wow, all these people are going to pay $10 to get in the party. But I was interested, but I was selling candy, but I'm like, I sell candy, I make money. So when I graduated, I was like, what can I do now? Well, no, it was getting close to graduation time. And I'm like, what am I going to do to make money? Because I don't want to get a normal job. And then I was like, oh, I can try the party thing because I saw Rebecca do it.
So let me stop you right there. Why didn't you want to get a regular job? Like, why was that not the goal? Like, no, that's not the play. I'm not doing that.
I was always used to making my own money. And that just got addicting. Like, it was a lot that went into it. I would, on Sundays, I'd go to Walmart, get as much as I could for the week, pack the bags at night, had just a bag for the juice and the stuff that had to stay cold. And even though that stuff was for the whole week, I would try to sell it all in a day. And then,
It's a hustler. Got
yeah.
to.
So whatever I sold, after school, I took the bus straight to Walmart, and I'd go restock on whatever I didn't have, pack the stuff again. Oh no, but I went to night school, so I would sell out, then go to night school, and then take the bus to Walmart, carry all that stuff from the bus stop back home. I had to walk like 2-3 blocks, and then I packed everything. And that's what it was, Monday to Thursday. And then Fridays, I would go buy my shoes. Like, I had to hook up with Shoe Gallery and all these places in downtown, and that's why I sold candy and all that, was to buy shoes and clothes. But yeah, it just got addicting to make my own money. Know if I sell triple this, I could make that. If 4 shoes were coming out and I wanted all 4 shoes, I could make that. And I just didn't want to be restricted to making like $8 an hour, $9, $10 an hour, when I can make like $60 an hour selling these Capri Suns. So that's why I didn't want a regular job. I was just used to making.
Understand that.
Yeah, I was just used to making my own money. But I still got a regular job though. I wasn't stupid. I was like, okay, even though I don't want a regular job, I'm going to get a job in retail because I liked clothes. Okay. So I got a job at Forever 21, and I was doing the parties. And I was just doing both. And eventually, well, no, I always had 2 jobs. Forever 21 was the main job for like 3 years. And then I had like Kids Foot Locker on the side, or Aldo, a Gap, Guess, something like that. I went to Broward College, and I was doing parties, but I used everything else to promote my parties. So I didn't look at going to work like work. I looked at it like, okay.
It's an interest you had anyway.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to work. If my schedule was 12 to 5 or 12 to 8, I saw it as, okay, I'm going to the mall 12 to 8 to promote. So, and you know, Forever 21, it was people my age. And I would just talk to people. I'm a people person. So I talk to them, network, tell them about my parties. And eventually, I saw I wasn't getting promoted. I was trying so hard to get promoted, transferring from store to store. If there was a new store opening, I would go there to try to get promoted. I wasn't getting promoted. Eventually, things didn't work out. I left Forever 21. I was horrible at science and math. So I just gave up school. I was like, I need to go to school for this. At first, I wanted to go to be a therapist and a lawyer. But then I was like, I'll just hire the best lawyer, and I don't really need to be a therapist. I just want to do the parties. So I ended up not working anymore, not going to school, and I just came to the conclusion that I could promote myself and build my own business and me be the one to promote people. And I remember, I just said, if this is what I want to do, I got to give all this other stuff up because my time is just getting taken up by work, and I couldn't stand my coworkers, but I had to be fake. I couldn't really tell the people that were annoying and got on my nerves what I felt about them. So I just stopped working, and I gave my all into the parties. And what was I gonna say? I gave my all into the parties, and what I did like about work was their corporate structure. I took that's what made me stay working a little longer. I understood order and structure, and I understood accountability, and I understood knowing, the severity of call outs and no call, no shows, and why they wanted certain people working. And I just understood those things, and I applied those things to what I do in my team and my business. So that's how all that got started.
It really all just makes sense now to me because, one of the things that you said that is so key, and it's like, there's a few gems personally that you said, is you weren't going to the mall to work, you was going there to promote, and it's people don't understand the perspective that you give yourself on how to look at something can be what really pushes or motivates you or pushes whatever it is that you're trying to do. And it's so, the mind is a powerful thing, and I think that's where people, you got it. And then even the corporate thing, because I work in corporate still, but there's so much of that that I've learned and I've seen that's how I kind of bring it into other things that I do. And I can say clearly I get the work ethic now, because I always tell people, I say, I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, Rarri doesn't play. Like, I listen, people used to tell me, yo, you have to have a twin, you everywhere. Let me tell y'all something, okay? I used to wonder how in the world Rarri did it, because I would see him, if I went to 4 events that day, I would see you at some point in time, at least at 2 of them. And if you were at the others, we just missed each other. And I was just like, he was at every one, and at each one, I saw you working, networking. It was always about still pushing and promoting yourself and whatever it is that you had going on. So it's like, for me to see, it was like, I think it's like been, at least I want to say I've known of you and known you at least three years. Like, I've seen the growth, but I see the growth, and it's like, it's well deserved because I've seen the grind. And you're just like, I'm like, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's here and you making it happen.
So let me ask you, what was your plan for that? It's like, for her to, to see you out in so many places at one time. You feel me? What was your plan? Was that a part of the plan to be at every spot as much as possible, be visible? You feel me? Like,
as I was doing the parties, I learned I had to keep on meeting people and network, and I also had to support people. So it became part of the plan. And I made myself have a purpose when I go to these things. A lot of people, they go out just to go out. But when I go out, I make sure if I go to a venue to support such and such, I'm also going to meet that venue owner. If I didn't do anything else but support this person and meet the venue owner, I feel good. So I always make like goals for myself when I go out. Oh, I'm going to meet this person or that person. Or if it's 4 events in one night, I met 4 venue owners. And then, I'd follow up and later down the line talk to them about doing my own event there. But
you follow up, though. That's that's key. That's a real shit. A lot of people don't realize the follow up is what really gets you to the door, because the conversation is just easy icebreaker. But when you follow up and people, oh yeah, you serious.
I wish I could put what you just said on loop for people, because I'm so serious. I've seen, I go to events and I always say, if I don't leave with at least 1 to 2 contacts, if I haven't met someone that's gonna be, of importance that I need to connect with, that's going to help me down the road, why the hell did I come out my house? Especially if I'm supposed to be an entrepreneur, if I'm supposed to be grinding towards a goal, you should not be at a party and all you came back with is selfies. I'm sorry. Selfies are cool, but what contact did you meet? How would you have your next event? Did this outing put you towards your goal? Like, people, okay, I'm sorry. It's a pet peeve. Like, people don't get it, I know it's a party city, but it's like, everybody's, claiming they a hustler, they entrepreneur, they trying to do this. Well, this is one of the ways you do that.
I think with the whole entrepreneurship right now, it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing as well. Like, I feel this right now is oversaturated with people that don't really want to do the things that they say they want to do.
It look good. It looks good. Yeah, it looks appealing. So
yeah, it looks good. It looks appealing, and people think they want to do it. Like, there's people that they want to be artists, but they don't, because of the lifestyle. But they don't really see all the work that goes into. Like, they don't see that's a business like everything else, and they don't see that it takes a lot of work ethic, and they don't understand the business side of things. Or there's people that want to be entrepreneurs and do this or do that, but they don't really, because it looks good on the outside, but when they really get in it, then it's a different story.
They be like, you know what, just kidding, this is not what I want.
And even with me, I say this till this day, I didn't know this journey would be this challenging. And I've been
so
doing this for
bad.
like 8 years, and I didn't know it would be this tough.
But you know what?
Nothing's easy though.
It's tough, but it's also beneficial. It's very beneficial. As you can see already.
We seen you, like I said, I seen your
Right.
growth.
You're right.
You know, and it's something that's like,
Speaking with that, your grind got you connected with Trina, got you connected with Backwoods, got you connected with Rap Snacks. You feel me? So it's all from what you have put out. It ain't been hard. It ain't been easy,
Right.
but it's done. Like that part of the job is done. You just got to keep going, and you know that's a good thing.
the fruits of your labor.
So let's talk about how you connected with Trina, because we're also going to get to the party that you got coming up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how I got connected with Trina and started helping her out with things was as I was doing my thing, behind the scenes Kings, they noticed what I was doing, and I had a friend, his name is O. O would put me to help.
Oh, to God.
Yeah, O would put me to
It's a
help.
boy, man.
O would put me to help his people, and when he saw that I was doing a great job helping out his people, I remember one night, it was during Art Basel, I'll never forget this. He was like, "Hey, I'm supposed to go to a party with Trina and them tonight, but I can't make it. I'm going to send you in my place." And this was right when I had finished doing an event for Dope and Gold, and I was like, oh, wow. So he had me meet KD, who's part of Trina's management team, and I met her in front of the club. It was Story, and it was Trina's birthday week. It was Art Basel week, and I was like, wow. And I got home at like 3, 4 in the morning, and then from that point, I just started helping KD with stuff. I interned for KD for a while. And, of course, because I'm helping KD by default, I have to help Trina.
Correct.
So I never had, like, instant contact with Trina. It was always through, like, KD or something. And then as they saw what I did and that I was an asset, I just helped out more and more. When Trina has her own personal events, I help out and I do whatever it is I can do. And it went from, just helping out to, being at everything locally. And if it's something I want to go help out with out of town, they'll let me come out of town with them. And I remember I had a birthday party and she just showed up. I didn't expect it. They just texted me, "Hey, Trina's on the way to come to your party." And I was like, oh, wow. So that's how the whole Trina thing happened. I was doing my parties. I met O, my friend O. And then O linked me with KD, and then I interned for KD, and I just did a good job. And then by default, I just started helping out Trina.
Okay.
You know what's so crazy about that is gosh, and people are like, why she keep preaching? But no, like dead ass. So, something in this industry, and I know as much events you do and how much you deal with people, the network. Building your network, connecting. Boom. There's opportunities that sometimes people give you, like that one of where he couldn't, he could have sent anybody else, but he said, "You know what, Rarri, that was an opportunity." And a lot of times you give someone a chance, an opportunity, and hey, come through. And most people kind of fall short, but you executed. You went, and then you maintained and you stayed consistent.
Yeah.
That consistency is what says a lot. And you, most of all, you said it like you helped out. You never had direct contact. There's a lot of times where I've seen people, they get around an artist, even though this is their role, they're already trying to finesse their way, and people notice that. Just because the artist, there's people around them that's like, nah, don't bring them back around. I saw how they would, people pay attention to that.
People watch that, definitely. Like, on some real shit, I ain't really meet Ross until I think about last year. About 2 years ago. I physically had a real conversation with him. But before then, I was just rep him. I show love. It's just part of the game. You feel me? When you got a plan for something bigger, shit like that shouldn't come into play. Oh, I ain't never meet you yet, so I can't fuck with you. Like,
Right.
Nah. That's crazy.
But one thing about me, I see the bigger picture in everything. I don't see just for today or just for tomorrow. I see the bigger picture. I know if I do a good job with this, it'll lead to that, and that'll lead to that. And oftentimes, I don't get to the bigger picture, but I still keep my relationships. And I try to see things through, but I see the bigger picture and things. And just seeing that, like, at the jobs, I saw the promotion. I didn't get to it, but I gave that up when I did everything I could do to get it transfer stores, do better than everyone else at the store, beat records, and they still weren't promoting me. So I do whatever I can to get to the bigger picture. But
so let me ask you, with something like that coming around within this industry, and you do everything, you try everything, and it don't work, are you bitter about it?
No, because there's a reason why it didn't happen. Either it wasn't for you, or maybe later down the line you're like, oh, I'm kind of happy this didn't work out because X, Y, Z would have happened. But even though it's not what you would have hoped or worked to come out of it, something still comes out of it. Like, something comes out of everything, honestly, whether it be good or bad. A lot of times when I've had the outcomes I would not have liked, whether it be for a party or whether it be with some type of venture, I look at the positive side. And that's how I think I maintain myself afloat a lot, is I don't look at what went wrong. I look at what went right. Or I don't know, I just look at the good. Okay, 5 people came, but I met this person, or I don't know. I can't really think of anything. It maintains
the perspective. It maintains the optimism, because the truth is nothing's going to be perfect. But focus on what you did accomplish, because that okay, this is one step closer to what you need to do.
But what I did back in the day, if I saw a party didn't do good, because I've had great parties, I've had not so good parties. What I did, if I saw a party only had 10 people, so I don't before I get sad and depressed, I get out my laptop, I make an event bright, and I'm already doing the next one. And while
everything's going around,
your mind's on something else.
Right. I'm like, okay, I'm putting together the next party, and I'm going to start promoting it tomorrow. So I don't even give myself time to get sad about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
That's
a different way to look at it, because once you put your mind on something else, you're not worried about what's going on.
Right, and then you just tell the venue owner or whatever the case, or whoever, hey, this didn't go right, but I'm sure it's because of this. I want to try this again. And, when you communicate things, people
respect that more.
People respect it, and they tend to give you another opportunity. People just want to see that you're trying, and people want to see effort. As long as you maintain that, I think you'll be okay.
Now, you have Rarri Company.
Mm-hmm.
And help me understand, because is it you assist in kind of execution of events, promoting, things of that nature, right?
Okay, so yes, Rarri and Company, I did a lot of things as just Rarri. But as all this started to grow, I used to always say, oh, I can do it all myself. I realized, no, I can't. I realized, no, I can't. So I started to have to put a team together, try people out. And even whether it be teammates or just the company I keep around or friends, I'm like, okay, I can't do this without the company I keep around, whether it be business affiliates, friends, teammates, and stuff. And then someone just said, oh, how about you just name yourself Rarri & Co. or Rarri & Company? And I was like, okay, cool. That's what I'll do. And people for the longest have asked me, oh, hey, can you help me with my party? Or, hey, can you help me keep organized with my stuff, because I'm a real organized person. And now that I have the team, I'm able to do more things than just my own. And I used to struggle with juggling my stuff and other people's projects, but I'm getting better at it. I'm not perfect, but things have gotten better, and I can't really do it without the company that I keep around. So we do promo for people's events. We organize their events, come up with creative ideas, campaigns, strategies. Yeah, you hit it right on the head.
Yeah, because I can vouch for it. I know there was an event that I went to. I'm one of those that I can go to an event, I'll have fun, I'll party, but I'm paying attention to everything. I could leave out of there and just really peep the logistics. I'm huge on logistics. That's really why I love Disney. But anyways,
that's not why. That's definitely not
they
why.
Okay, anyways, I digress. But logistics, and there was an event. Shout out to Empress Raw. You did when she did the launch of her Straight Raw, and when I walked in, I paid attention. I saw the young ladies in the front. Everyone had their task. Everyone had their, as someone who's put on events, and sometimes it gets frustrating because is everyone on there? You can't be everywhere. But right. You could tell there had to be meetings. There had to be discussions beforehand, and everyone understood their role, because from the moment you walked in, I saw how it executed from beginning even till when I got inside. And you didn't have to do that many touch points. Like, I could just tell, and I paid attention to that. And honestly, deadass, I was like, okay, if I were to do an event, I was like, I'll hire Rarri and Company, like deadass, because I was like, I saw that. I'm a stickler for everyone understanding what their role is. There was a person for check-in, a person for the photos, a person to make sure that they got a picture with Empress, all of those little details, and I was like, okay, that's stuff that.
And that means we did a pretty good job for you to notice that. But yeah, meetings go into it, follow-ups, game plans. And I remember for my birthday party that you guys came to. Thank you so much. That was the last Rarri party. It was on Cinco de Mayo. I remember saying, I'm not going to be embarrassed. And I remember saying, I'm not, like, I usually go to the events early and set it up and, like, run around and, hey, why isn't this done or why isn't this done? And then one of my friends told me, hey, it's your birthday. You can't be doing that, right? So I'm like, okay, you're right. So he's like, so you're going to get the driver and you're not going to get out the car until everything is ready. So I'm like, oh, I like that. So everyone knew.
That should get addicting, tell you.
Yeah, no, it really does get addicting because I won't be coming to events early anymore. I remember I came with the driver, and basically everyone was on the same page. Like, I'm texting. Oh, and also working with Trina and these type of people. Like, I see how they do stuff. Hey, we're 10 minutes away. Hey, we're leaving right now. Hey, 20 minutes away. Hey, 5 minutes away. They know, oh, start to put the rap snacks in this section. Oh, start to get these songs ready. Oh, start to gather the photographers outside. Oh, start to do this or that. Start to have security in the front. And I remember me getting there, and I'm like, I'm not getting out until I see the venue manager, because I know she's going to have the security not check us, until I see the photographers, until I see this person, that person, and it gets addicting. And I'm just in the car with my drink and my bottle, and I'm like, I'm not getting out until this person tells me it's all okay, and until I see it all, because I'm not going to be embarrassed. And ever since then, that's how I want to do things. I want to just come and everything be ready.
But that's a testament to his team, though.
That's a good and a bad thing. So, right. As long as you keep your team, if you keep your team good, then that would work well. Because sometimes, I'm wrong. I was the same way. I was the type of person that was really at it, want to be, make sure everything is done. So I got to somebody like Anna. Well, I ain't got to do it no more. So good. But
I be like, I show up, okay, he's like.
Then sometimes when Anna can't come around, I got to step back in and then like, damn, I should have kept going, because, you kind of lose it. But as long as you keep a good team of people around you, man, that's going to make sure that the company is looking good at all times.
Well, with team, I remember when I got my office space, I was like, okay, the first thing I need is a team. So I made a Google form, and I put out that I was looking for people. When I saw the amount of responses, I was like, wow, 217 people applied to help me out for free. And I'm like,
can they apply to help me out? Shit.
Wow. So I'm like, okay, so I just started interviewing people, filtering through people, and the team never stays consistent. I'm going to be 100%.
That's a fact.
I'm going to be 100% honest. They never. But I think I'm to blame also for that. So what I do now, like either like I have,
accountability.
I know when
accountability.
Yeah, I know. It's not all their fault if I'm not constantly in contact with the team, or I'm not keeping up the momentum to show them. Then things are going to fall off. Right. So what I did was I got to I got a communications manager, and it's that my team right now is 23 people. We have a group chat, so it's that their job is literally to talk to the 23 people. I talk to this one person, and they talk to everybody else, and that has.
But it's a learning process, and you're willing to learn. Some
Yeah.
people get stubborn and go, well, if they didn't work out this way, oh well, you know.
I mean, I know I can put up a post and find triple the amount of people to help me out, but I stopped bringing in so many people because I want to get to learn who I have one group at a time and see what they're good at. And if the thing is, if you know what you want to do and you come help me out and you're doing what you're supposed to do, I'm going to help you do that. But if you don't know what you want to do, then we got to figure it out while you help.
But Steve, what about those? Because there's a lot of people that same way it come through the doors. And
They don't know.
You feel me? They don't know what they want to do. They know you just want to help. They want to be there. But
I think there's two different type of people like that. You have people that don't know, but they're willing to work at whatever till they figure it out. Then you have those that don't know and expect you to help them find the magic answer.
Well, I don't find the magic answer for nobody.
Neither do we.
Me. One thing, like I learned, just don't respond. If I think you want, like, I'm just like that. Before I text something that I may regret or that may sound offensive, I just don't respond. Or if I think you're trying to cut corners to get to me, you know, there's a communications manager. I'm not going to respond to you. So I've learned to just do that. Like, we're grown. You figure it out. And I'm not going to help you figure it out. I'll have you do other things. And that's me helping you figure it out. Like, I ask, oh, what do you want to do? Or you want to try this? Or is there something else you want to see us do? And I try to help you figure it out. But at the end of the day, I didn't ask none of you to come help me. You guys signed up to help me, so I can't get sidetracked with what it is, trying to help you figure out your stuff, because nobody helped me figure it out. I figured it out by myself, so you have to figure it out. You have to help until you figure it out, and I can't get distracted by helping you figure it out because we're grown and time is just flying by, and you signed up to help me. And I get real, you know, like I ended up realizing sometimes good guys finish last. So I learned to not like Anthony cares, Rarri doesn't. So I let them know, hey, Anthony cares, but you don't deal with Anthony, you deal with Rarri. Rarri doesn't care.
I had to do that.
So
I gotta get to that. Like, yo.
I had to do that
because that comes out when I get angry. I get angry,
but you don't want to get. That's the thing. You don't want to get to that point.
I don't want to get to that point.
That's
because
where
when I get that
things
point,
sever.
I get to the fuck you. Like,
yeah,
you feel me? Before even trying to work shit out.
You need to get to that a little bit before that.
You feel me? So yeah, I definitely got to work on myself with that because, yo, it be serious.
We'll do a 12-step program. I got
Well, you see, this Saturday with my team, we're having a mixer. We're having a mandatory mixer. All 22 people are going to show up, and basically, it's a lot of things I want to get off my chest, but I'm not going to do it until Saturday. And whoever doesn't show up on time, you know, like I'm always like, well, I'm going to take whoever doesn't do this out the group chat or this or that. So I'm just like, okay, we're just going to have the communications manager told me, we should have a mixer. Everyone should see who's who, and we should talk about what we want to do. I mean, how we see things going, and try to give everybody a specific role. And just see how it goes from there. And I'll tell her, because I just want to put up another post and get 50 more people to apply. And she's like, no, don't do that. Just let's
go through the process.
Go through the process.
See what you got.
See what you got and what can be salvaged and what can't, and we'll go from there. But
because those next 50 are gonna, there's some energy invested in there that right now you.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I'm dealing with now, like learning people, team development, and I help as much as I can, but at the end of the day, if it's costing me too much, like I was homeless and I was still doing this. I had 2 jobs and I was going to school and I was still doing this. I was going through house problems and I was still doing this. So I never really made excuses. If I knew, for example, let's say if I lived in Broward and I didn't have a car and I had to do this interview today, I'm going to, even if I had nowhere to sleep, I'm going to sleep in this area so that I could be here today. So that's really why I don't really see a lot of, like, I don't really care for a lot of excuses because I don't really make.
You don't make them. So.
Yeah, I don't make them, and I know what I've gone through. Like when people tell me, "Oh, I'm going through this, that." Well, listen, I've been through quadruple that, so Rarri doesn't care. But and I've learned with this attitude, I'm getting way more done because if not, people like
walk over you.
They'll walk over you. They'll walk over you. They'll manipulate you. They'll finesse you.
Yeah,
it's real shit.
Yeah, and it just came to a point where I'm like,
but it's part of your evolution as you grow because, like I said, I've watched your brand grow. So it's part. You got to remember that as you continue to grow, Rarri will be evolving at every stage, at every next level of every next accomplishment. There's going to be a new evolving version of Rarri.
But what got me to that point was I can take these things, but now if I have you doing something for Trina, I can't be embarrassed. If I have you doing something for Rap Snacks, I can't be embarrassed. So if I can't even depend on you to do my stuff or the little stuff, why would I bring you around me when it's time to help at a video shoot or when it's time to go to a Rap Snacks event or some industry thing and you can't even help with the little stuff I have you do for the parties that we do? It's not going to work. And I just feel like sometimes when things don't work out for people with me, it's because you're not really doing what you're supposed to do.
Me too. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's because of you. It's because I asked you to do something.
It's not me, it's you.
And you ain't do it. You ain't complete it like you're supposed to. So that's a problem. Like, for real. That's G shit.
But people don't see it. And
if you do what you're supposed to do, something's going to come out of it. And if you know how to use your opportunities, things are always going to come out of it. And I've always really looked at, like, a lot of people, they come into this and they look at, like, they're trying to look for instant gratification or money. And with this, I never asked really. All the opportunities I've had, I've never been after the money. I see the opportunity as more than the money. I don't mind interning. Even now, I don't mind helping people out. I don't mind doing what I have to do to just get the experience or the relationship and go from there. But yeah, it's a process, and I didn't know it was going to be this hard, but it is. And then studying people in the industry and seeing
the fun part.
Seeing what people do, and then going to people's events that are doing bigger events than me, or like I like industry stuff, I like corporate stuff, I like these type of things because I go and I learn. Like I go to things to learn also. And before I used to go to every and anything, but it comes to a point where you can't do that because as we get older, I've learned. And as you're this active, you drain yourself out, you burn yourself out. So I go to things like if I have to support this person, I don't care if I'm tired, don't want to go, I'm going to go. If it's something I know I'm going to learn from, I go. But I'm not going to something just to go to it really anymore if I don't think anything's going to come out of it.
You became strategic. Your outings become more strategic once you really peep game and you really know what you're trying to achieve.
Well, all it is better in your business. That's it.
And your brand.
Your brand. Because you can't touch your brand to everything. No matter what. Nobody said you can't touch your brands to everything.
So how did you become the Rap Snack plug? Okay, because that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it. How did you become the Rap Snack plug?
Since you've been with the Rap Snacks, I've been seeing them in stores now. I ain't never seen them in stores.
Right? I was like, what?
Okay, so the Rap Snacks thing, that also came from seeing the bigger picture. Trina got her deal with Rap Snacks, and they had just moved down here, and I was like, and I knew about Rap Snacks before Trina, and I was like, wow, this is a brand I really want to work with. So I remember Trina was performing at Rolling Loud, not this year, but I think last year, and Rap Snacks had sponsored Rolling Loud, and I remember asking Katie, can I go with you guys to Rolling Loud? She's like, it's never a problem to come to whatever we go to. But for this type of stuff, when it's an event of this magnitude, they give the artist a certain amount of credentials. Yeah. And obviously it goes in a certain order: hair, makeup, managers, which she had 3, photographer, this person, that person. So, by the time it gets to you, there may be no credentials. She said, but I have an idea. So I went with her to the Rap Snacks office one day for something with Trina, and then she asked, oh, hey, do you guys need help for Rolling Loud? She asked Rap Snacks, and they said yes. And she said, okay, Rarri, is great at this, this, and that. He can help you. And she told me, all you need is your foot in the door, and you can help us, you can help them, you can do whatever you want to do. So Rap Snacks, they gave me a shot. And from when I helped them at Rolling Loud, I knew it was going to be more than just that weekend. So after Rolling Loud weekend, after I helped them out at Rolling Loud, I had a there was some chips left over. I don't remember if it was chips left over. When I went back to their office to pick up my check for that weekend, I asked them, can I get a box? They gave me the box, and since I did parties and I helped out people with parties, I was like, all I have to do is bring these chips and promote them and get the celebrities to take pictures with them and pass them out. And I did that for a few months, and I made a binder, and I put all the things that I did for everybody. Trina, Ball Greasy, Slip and Slide, everything, like Snapchat filters. And
all this is on your own, though. Like, let's be clear.
Yeah.
All this is on your own.
Yeah. It was all on my own. So
That's different. That was the same thing what Ross was talking about. Taking a brand, promoting like it's your own.
Yeah, I was put in the position to help them for a weekend, but then I turned that into actually being with them long term. So for 3-4 months, I kept going to their office, getting chips, and going back and forth with them about what I could do for them. Like I researched everything, saw what they were missing, and was like, hey, you guys just moved down here. I do this, and you guys see what I've been doing. I've got you all these pictures, all these contents, made these filters, do these things. I really want to work with you guys. And then they put me on a salary, and I've been with them for more than a year now. So anytime there's an event that Rap Snack sponsors, I bring my team out and we go and we do like the activation, set it up, give out the samples, or if there's an event that's not in town, they fly me out to go to the event. Like Rap Snacks has sent me to New York, LA, and just all these places whenever there is an event that needs to be covered. So that's how it happened. Trina got her deal. They sponsored Rolling Loud. Trina was performing. It wasn't a for sure thing that I was going to be able to help out Trina at Rolling Loud. So KD pitched me to Rap Snacks. They let me help them out. And then from there, I just continued to show what I could do beyond that weekend. And that's how that came to be.
Dope.
That's dope.
Dope.
But that's really just seeing a bigger picture of it, seeing the end game, seeing that what it could be. You feel me? A lot of people don't take the time to do that. Mm-hmm. Like they if it ain't a check involved up front, they don't want to fuck with it. Like, no, that ain't how the world works. And see, I'm glad that someone that's in your age group is showing the leg work of the grind. You get what I'm saying? Because social media nowadays, everything is instant. I'm an instant star, nigga. You blow it right then and there. But there's really no leg work behind what's going on.
Because when you was doing the filters, you were doing them yourself.
Right?
So
everything.
They weren't saying, oh, can you do this filter or this or that. I got my graphic designer or find a graphic designer and was like, hey, can you make filters? And then I would pay for the Snapchat filters to be over these events that I know we're going to be at. And then I would have my team like, oh, hey, go to everyone, have them take pictures or do a video with it. And then I would just bring it back to the Rap Snacks office, show them their analytics. And they were like, oh, no one's doing this for us, so you can just stay doing this for us. And then they asked, hey, we love what you're doing out of the office, but if you come into the office a few times out the week, we'll pay you more. So I'm like, oh, okay, of course. So I go into the office like 2-3 times a week, and it's still funny how I made that like my 9 to 5. Like I go to Rap Snacks from 9 or 10 to 5 p.m. like 2 to 3 times a week, and they pay me more now, and I'm just like, wow, it's really like I saw this happening.
But you created it.
You created
the
so it had no choice but to happen.
You got your foot in the door, and you created the opportunity by proving and showing yourself as an asset.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's part of the formula that people don't get. I remember
That's
when I used to
part of it.
I used to promote when I did a party. That shouldn't be named. When I did a party, I remember like I was consistently going, and I would create my own filters. I would create my own little, and I was like, all right, and then geotag
I remember that
it,
party.
and then,
I remember that party.
And you know, it got popping. Anyway,
But see,
but you know, you have to. Sometimes you have to leap and just do what you know you need to do for your to prove your worth and what you bring to the table, and whether it reaps any benefit at the end of the day, you still created, I would say, something into your resume. Because I think one of the biggest issues, and you've probably seen this a lot with your when building your team, is people are just how do I put this? They want to do something, but they want to know right then and there. They want to, or they need the direction, and you need I call it bias for action.
Oh, they need the money.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to come do it, but how much you getting paid to be there? Like, wait.
I remember there was someone that wanted to help me out. I brought them to help me out, and Rap Snacks asked me, hey, can you do inventory or pack some boxes or something for us after office hours? And you should bring 2 people because it's a lot of work. I brought the 2 people, and I remember one of them asked me, like, they were like, first of all, like, they were like, oh, wow, we're at the Rap Snacks office. And they were like, oh, are you getting paid to do this? And I said, do you not see where you are? And you're asking about money?
Right. You in a whole, you in a place that you can never be.
Right.
Could never been.
So I was like, you don't notice where you are? You don't know that these people are partnered with Migos, Cardi B, Trina, Lil Yachty, and all these people? And you're asking, am I getting paid to do this? I was like, even if I wasn't, I'd be doing this for free.
That's how you start to...
like, you can't look at that or ask that type of question because then that's the turn off. Like, you don't see,
what are the questions you need to hear to know, okay, all right, I can see what I'm working with.
Yeah.
Because as you try to figure out, at the end of the day, it's almost like you're playing chess. You're trying to figure out where to put all your chess pieces, and the right person needs to be in the right position to make sure that you win. Because you're building an empire. It's facts. You calling it, it's Rarri and company, but you're building into that.
Yeah, it's still a lot of growing pains, but when you move up a level, it's new stuff that comes with it. And even though I feel I've outgrown a lot of my peers when it comes to stuff, there's another level of other people that now I'm at the bottom of the food chain with them, so I gotta work my way up and show them what I can do, and it's a lot harder as you move up. Yeah.
Facts.
But you know what? That's crazy. I was feeling that same way. Like once I was like, I'm transitioning outside the club shit. Transition to the radio. Me being who I am in the club is not who I am on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely it's a different thing. It's an ego check.
Yeah,
but it's definitely something that it'll help you. You feel me? Try to put yourself around people that's bigger, that's more, just more got more going on. Not saying that they're better than you. It's just the simple fact they got more going on.
They have more going on, or they've been doing this longer. They have more experience, or they have so. I get it, and these are people I just like to learn from, know from, and even and whether it be a PR, whether it be someone doing what I'm doing on another level, I'm always asking, well, how can I help? Not because I'm trying to steal opportunity or capitalize, but I really want to learn, and I know that the best way for me to learn is to help you with what you have going on. And usually, no one really ever tells me no because they see what I do for other people, and I don't always ask to help people right away. I like for them to see what I do before I even ask anyone, can I help you out with what you have going on?
Like I say, good help is hard to find.
Very hard.
So when someone sees that you really, do your thing whenever you're doing it, and the opportunity comes about to work with you, shit, I'm not turning that down. Because they see what what you have done for other brands, which is you can't deny that. So yeah.
So we've gained our listeners have gained a really good understanding of your journey. And I feel, and I hope they really, most of all, they respect where you're at now because they've heard your journey.
But
now,
the thing is.
well, not all of it.
No, but the thing is, I'm one of those people. I don't care whether you respect what I do, whether you don't. I don't care. Like I'm never begging for support. I'm never like I build the hype around things. Like okay, like maybe I might ask people, "Oh, can you be part of this party?" And they're like, "Oh no," or it might not be big enough for them. So I just go out and I make it big to the point where now I make things big enough to where you want to be involved or you want to be part. But I really don't care about who thinks this or who thinks that, because I know I'm in a better position than you, and I know where this is going. But I mean, hopefully they do respect it. But at the end of the day,
I mean, respect as far as the grind, because it's people and the optics that social media has given people through this little screen is like, damn, overnight like there's a process and understanding. That process, it's if one person's 2 people, 3 people keep telling you consistency, hard work, make opportunities, it's clearly there's something to that formula.
Definitely.
Now,
that's somebody's party.
Yeah, I was gonna say now, what do we have going forward?
Well, with helping other people and just doing a whole lot, not just for myself but for others, I feel like I've lost I'm not as consistent with my parties anymore. So I was like, okay, instead of having to restart parties over and over again, I was like, I need a name for a party, and I need to keep it one name and just change the theme. So for my birthday, I was like, oh, okay, I could do Rarri Party. So now I'm going to do another Rarri Party on Halloween. And I've always wanted to do a big Halloween party, but either I always plan too late, it catches me by surprise, or whatever the case may be. But this year I planned ahead of time. I said that's what I wanted to do. I have a great relationship with Babylon. They see what I could do. I've thrown parties there, made the money. They see I have the support, awesome support system, which freaks me out sometimes. And, we're going to do another Rarri Party on Halloween. We're going to have costume contests. We're going to have, free gummy shots. Going to get really creative. I like to really get creative with things, so we're going to make that venue really look like Halloween. And we're going to have a lot of things going on. I got a lot of people involved, got a lot of things I'm not going to say, but that's going to be the biggest Halloween party in the city.
So how can people attend?
They can go to the link on my bio, on my Instagram or my Twitter, Rarri Ant, and they can get a ticket. Or they can just ask me how, if they have something that would be of benefit to the party, they can just hit me up, and we'll figure out what we could do. But Thursday, October 31st, Rarri Party, it will be the biggest Halloween party in Miami, and yeah, that's definitely the place to be that day. Halloween's on a Thursday this year.
Right, weird.
Halloween been falling on weird days, but at least this one's closer to the weekend, because last year it was on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm like, damn it. So at least, take off that Friday, y'all, right? And just give yourself, a nice little extra time to recover from the Rarri Party.
And leading up to the party, leading up to Rarri Party, we're going to do a lot of cool, fun, creative promo stuff, because that's another thing I'm good at. I'm real good at coming up with strategies, cool little gimmicks, and things like that to really boost up the hype. So many people are about to throw Halloween parties out and advertise their stuff, but nobody can promote like me. So, I don't really care about the competition. I don't care who or what anyone has going on Halloween. This will be the biggest Halloween party in the city.
Confidence?
Yeah, a lot of confidence, because I know what I can do, especially on a day like that. People want to dress up. Girls want to come out, get sexy, be in their costumes. So, I mean, who wouldn't want to come to this? And especially after I do what I'm gonna do for promotion, it's gonna
Dun,
be like,
dun,
oh wow,
dun.
we gotta come out to
Dun,
this.
dun, dun.
I got over 100 story reposts within 3 or 4 days, and we just got into September, but I let out the flyer last week or the week before, and already more than 100 people have reposted it on their story. And this time, like, I'm tracking everything. I put everything into my highlights. So I put everything, like, if you go to my page, I have a highlight Rarri party, and there's literally about 100 story reposts from different people. And when I put out something, a lot of times I don't really have to ask people to repost. They just do it. I mean, I'll ask here and there, but for the most part, I don't really have to ask because people, they know, like, either they've been to a party of mine over the past few years, or they know, like, how hard I'm going to go with it, and they know I'm just not going to put out junk. So people just support it, and I go out my way to support people when I can. Like, if you invite me to something, if I can go, I'm going to go.
Right.
There'll be cases where, like, once in a big blue moon that maybe I can't do it, but 9 times out of 10, if someone invites me to something and I really know you, I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
No questions asked. And you have to do that. People can't just support you and you don't support
Right,
people.
you
it
gotta
has to,
support.
like, even days I'm like, oh, I don't want to go, but I'm going to go because I respect this person this much, or this person will do it for me, so I'm gonna do it. So because we're all trying to do something, and if we don't help out each other, then I mean, how is it gonna happen?
And you've seen the value of maintaining relationships and nurturing them. There we go. It's not just you get the relationship, but also nurturing them.
Right.
That's what people forget to do. Like, you can still have the connect, and things like showing up to an event, that's where you start to nurture that relationship that you have with that individual.
And speaking of nurturing relationships, I don't know if this is a worldwide thing or just a Miami thing.
About to tell you,
people, they don't. Okay. People assume before they ask. So they'll think, oh, this person has a problem with me, or they don't like me because of this or because of that, or whatever the case may be. But me, I'm going to really find out. Like, I'm going to ask you, hey, is there an issue with this, or that? Or I'm going to be the bigger person and try to fix whatever the problem is, because you don't want relationships to die because of assumptions. So
Ooh,
I
yes.
don't know. People won't tell you what they assume. They'll just talk about you, or they'll just have something against you or hold a grudge against you other than talking about it. And I feel a lot of strong relationships, people don't agree when I tell them this, but I feel a lot of the best relationships are the ones you talk about, or you repair, or you get through, because people know what line not to cross, what aggravated you, what caused this to turn into that. So I really can't think of anybody. You really have to, like, really screw me over or really disgust me for me not to try to fix stuff with you or be very extra and stuff. So that's probably, like, only, like, a handful of people, maybe under, like, 5 people. But eventually we fix it. But, yeah, I really care about relationships, and I really try to look at things other people's point of view. And just because you think something, or it might be one way to you, you got to put yourself in another person's shoe or look at it from a different angle to really understand where they're coming from. So, yeah, I don't know if that's just a Miami thing where people just assume, or if it's all around, but people assume they want to find a reason to not like
around.
I think it's human nature.
That's human nature. Because
a lot of people don't really like conflict. You feel me?
So as soon as they feel that it's there, and then they put that own narrative on it without even, because I've heard it, or I've had people, and you're like, well, why would you say that? There's no substance, there's no foundation on why they're saying this, and it's like, okay, so. Just moving on. I do have a question. Mm-hmm. How many requests from artists do you get? Hey, how can I get on a rap snack?
So many. I mean, but here's what I did. Mm-hmm. I know everyone can't be on the bag.
Of course.
So, and everyone's on their grind. So if I see you're doing your thing, I'll get you a Rap Snacks interview. So that's how I was able to find a balance. Okay, we can't put you on a bag, but
What's your name?
I'm helping Rap Snacks with their YouTube. So I talked to them about doing interviews with local artists and entrepreneurs
I saw you doing
and
that.
people doing their thing, and they like the idea. And they've given me the tools to do it. So people that I think are doing their thing, or people that reach out that I may not have known about that want to get on the bag, I know that's not going to happen. But how can we attach you to this brand? So I'll do the Rap Snacks interviews, and I just post the clips of them tasting the chips, but they're really full interviews. But I'm still in the process of editing them and letting them out. But I get a lot of requests, but I try to fit in people how I can if you're doing your thing, but tons of people. And I mean, I'd be wanting to tell them, well, you have to be famous for real, number one. You have to be a real famous person to be on the bag. And speaking of that, there's a lot of new flavors coming up with some artists that I just can't wait to post. Oh, a new flavor coming out, this person and that or that person. But we have some new flavors coming, and it's going to be more than just chips. It's going to be other snacks too.
Okay, so Rap Snacks going to go up the whole snacks name. Okay,
slowly but surely. But yeah, we had a meeting the other day, and when I saw the products that were coming out and the artists that are going to represent them, I was like, wow, I want to post this right now, but I know I can't. I gotta wait. So
can I tell you, we're gonna look back at this interview and just be like, dang, we sat down and talked with him. You said something. I'm a person that I find solutions,
right? Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't want to hear why you. I tell my daughter all the time. She's 10. I said, I don't want to hear your excuses. I just want to hear how we gonna fix this. What's the solution? Because the problems will be there. But the other thing I learned from when I forgot what it was, an entrepreneur. They said you don't always if the answer is no to something, you can say I can't do that. But you know what? And that's what you did. You're not going to get on this back, but you know what?
So another way to help you out some kind of way.
What if we did this? And that type of thinking and ingenuity and just, it speaks volumes, first of all, to the brand that you're working with, because it shows, how the reach you can do. But most of all, even for that person, it's like, he could have just told me nah and left me there.
And I feel bad. I don't like to tell people no. And I'm like, if I know this person's really doing their thing, but I know they have a long way to go, I'll try to meet you in the middle somehow.
Yeah, things, because at the end of the day, just because you're there, people can't hold you, be like, Rarri ain't going to put me on the back. Okay, first of all, okay, Rarri is there. However, the company itself has their requirements, their standards, their guidelines. However, anyone that is still willing to provide an opportunity, that's what you got to peep and respect, regardless.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people out here that probably have a lot more access, a lot more opportunities than you do, but won't do for nobody. That's a fact. Know that for a fact.
That's a fact.
So I always like that. I love when I see people still just trying to find creative ways to still do something for somebody.
Yeah, and I haven't put out any of the interviews yet, but I think I did like 13, and I haven't put out, but I want to be real strategic with how I do things. But yeah, I'm doing the Rap Snacks interviews, and that's a new venture. I didn't think I'd be behind the camera asking people questions and stuff, and I think that caught people by surprise. Like, oh, now he does this, but
this journey never takes you in the path that you thought you was gonna go.
You're always gonna do some other shit, no matter what.
Yeah, and I'm just learning one thing isn't enough. You gotta do multiple things. Yeah, you gotta put on all the hats you can. But as much as I would have liked to put other people and have them do the Rap Snacks interviews,
it's not gonna come out the way that
you have your vision.
You vision it to.
Till you get that person that can execute your vision and your idea.
Right, and even I can't wait. Oh, hey, we got to go do such and such. I can't wait on anyone's schedule to coincide with mine. If I have a camera and I have the product, just go and do it. It's like I don't want another. Like I can't have another person involved because it's just
It's just we know
it's a lot, but yeah,
it's a lot. It is, especially if you really focus on it. Like, and if you're the type of person, like get up and go type person, where you don't really go on nobody clock but your own.
Oh, that'd be my issue.
It's hard to wait on somebody else.
Yeah, like if you guys were to say, "Hey, we're ready tonight," and I'm not doing anything tonight, we're gonna do it tonight.
Right.
Like we're gonna meet up somewhere, and we're gonna do it. And
Well, we got to plan the plan. You know.
yeah, no, I don't like that.
I hate planning the plan.
Someone told me something the other day, and they didn't mean this as in musical artists, but they were like, like you can't try to make everything perfect because those type of people are not going to make money. The type of people that are going to make money are like, you're trying to make art at that point. If you're trying to make something perfect, you're not trying to make money. So you just have to do something and just and fix it as you go. Like even like, I don't know, that one interview may not be great. The 5 interviews may not be great, but the 10th will, and the 15th, like it'll get better and better. And no matter with what it is, parties, a business, being an artist, just put stuff out and get better as you go. Because if you keep trying to make something perfect, you're never gonna put it out because it's never gonna be perfect.
It's never perfect to you.
Right.
It's never like I tell people that all the time. Like I got a couple friends like that. They real iffy about what they do, but they great. Like, yo, you tripping. Like, you're thinking you too much into your mind, too much in your brain. Like, just put it out.
Just do it. Like, naked.
Like, that's the best shit. Because it's really ready. It's just you not ready.
Yeah.
That's really all it is.
And if it doesn't work out, at least you tried.
At least you tried it.
And it'll probably bring another opportunity.
It definitely will. But listen, man, we gotta get up out of here.
Okay.
Thank you.
This has definitely been fun. I'm about to steal
You
one of these
said a
rap
lot of just, oh my God, you said a lot of substantial stuff that I hope people realize it's part of the process, people. You can't skip it.
If somebody's not dying, if you're not in jail, if it's not a natural disaster, there's no reason, it's not really a problem. So if you're not getting evicted, if it's not something that's real crazy, it's not really a problem. And if it's not a problem, then, I mean, to every problem there's a solution. But if it's not something like that, then there's no reason not to make it happen.
That's real shit.
But thank you guys so much for having me. I had so much fun. And I feel like I let a lot of stuff out because...
You did.
I wanted this to be like, okay, let's get to know Rarri, but really understand the process because people just see where you're at now, but they don't understand. There's things that happen, there's work ethic, positions, opportunity. There's so much encompassed, and I feel like we covered that.
And see, you're so much of a background person.
Yeah.
A background player. I can see that, but now you're, with you being a hustler, you're forced to really step into that limelight now.
Yeah, and it's just funny how I ended up doing stuff for chips when I used to sell chips in high school.
It come back full circle.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
But this was fun. Oh, and congrats! I saw the other day the post, and I was just so happy.
iHeart.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Congrats.
Yes.
We're definitely on iHeart Radio now. It's a dope thing, man. It's a grind, It's all a grind. You feel me? Like, if you're not watching, people are like, oh shit, this happened. But it's a long time coming. You feel me? But it's we still got a lot to go, man. And we're here to support you and everything you got going on. Definitely. We rocking with you, man.
But one more time before we go. Thursday, October 31st, Rarri Party, the biggest Halloween party in the city. There's no other place to be besides that at Babylon. Costume contests, free gummy shots, all type of stuff. I don't want to get into it. You got to come to the party to find out. Rap snacks, of course. Lots of rap snacks.
I'm just ready for the outfits. I already know the costumes are going to
be crazy.
Are you guys going to come
Oh, yeah.
through?
We coming.
Okay.
We coming. We definitely going to be there. What you wearing?
I don't know. It has to be special. I don't like doing
regular shit. It's going to be some Disney shit, I bet.
And
she going to do some Disney.
Give me a rap snacks bag.
I would.
That might be dope, though, shit.
I think I will go paint a bag and get it printed and just show up looking like Missy Elliott.
That'll be lit. For real.
We'll be there.
We up out of here, though, man. Don't forget, Wednesday and Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Yours truly, DJ Meat. Love you, model Anna. Y'all already know the DJ
Yeah.
Meat Show. We out.